The following is a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.
Steps back in the pocket. Goes the home run ball deep middle. Marsh over the shoulder with a catch. Nick Marsh at the 10-yard line of Maryland. Angles to the right pylon. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU. Lightning in a bottle. Aiden Childs with the home run ball to the young Nick Marsh.
Auto Owners Insurance presents The Jonathan Smith Show. Tonight's show is sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance, simple human sense, and by the MSU Federal Credit Union. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. Meijer, the official grocer of Michigan State Athletics. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. Team Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartan Athletics. Make Team Trailways your favorite ride. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Raise hope and foster dreams. Start your journey to becoming a foster parent today at michigan.gov/hope for a home. McLaren, official orthopedics and sports medicine partner of Michigan State Athletics. And by Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment. Choose chill. Now with head coach Jonathan Smith, here's Will Tiemann.
And a pleasant evening to everybody around the great state of Michigan, and welcome into Jonathan Smith Show, always presented by Auto Owners Insurance. And we have an extra bonus today. We have a co-host, J.U. Kalkrick. How about that?
There we go.
Oh, yeah. I had to come see what all the excitement was about here. I'm at home watching it on the feed on Twitter. So I had to come in and see what all the excitement is.
Yeah, you just came to give me some grief.
And Otis promised me a free meal.
By the way, we're live at One North Kitchen and Bar in Lansing. If you want to join us live in the audience for any of the MSU Coaches shows, make a reservation by email. Just email Caleb at onenorthdining.com. Well, tough Saturday at Spartan Stadium, and now we have an off weekend. Last time we had one of these, a lot of good things happened.
Yeah, we're definitely hoping for the same thing in regards to the off week and taking a look at ourselves and regrouping a little bit, because there's no question it was tough on Saturday. You know, we started fast in the first quarter, but we had to play 3 more quarters, and they got after us pretty good. And so there's a lot to look at, right? Responding to that in all 3 phases, finding ways to improve, because we got a lot to play for. Got 3 more opportunities that can really define this season. And I looked at today's practice. We went out there today, full pads. Guys were getting after it pretty good and was pleased with that. We're approaching the bye pretty similar as we had last time, and so we'll give them a few days here to step away from it, and then we'll be full steam ahead at Illinois on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm imagining anybody who's played the game or coached the game for any number of time have had a bad day. And so question for JU, when you had a bad day, which probably wasn't very often, so the mindset of coming back.
That's something that's absolutely huge. And, having a game like Saturday, and, back when I played, we went through a couple of those games, similar to that, one against Indiana, my junior year, similar to the ones that we faced this past Saturday. But the big thing is you got to go. You have to be truthful with yourself. You have to have that man in the mirror conversation with yourself. At the end of the night, when you're brushing your teeth, you spit that last drop of toothpaste, how you look up in the mirror there, you ask yourself the question, did I do everything I could this week to put myself in the best position to be successful? And, those are the things that you have to do. You have to go and you have to look at the film to see where you fell short and what you did well. Because, we saw we were 10-0. The first time this team has ever trailed in a game was against us. We had that momentum. So what fell off there, you have to look at that. You have to be truthful with yourself as a player. It's not, pointing at everything else. What did I do? What could I have done best? So that's what you have to do.
And so as you talk to your guys, Jonathan, what was their reaction to just looking at it and looking at it realistically, like Jay was talking about?
Yeah, similar message, because you do realistic, telling the truth, taking a look at it, and then in each individual player taking a look at it, right, and what led to that kind of performance. At the same time, we're coaching these guys. And so what we look at our preparation and what we're asking them to do or not to do and why that shows up. And that's why I love this game and being an ultimate team game is staff and players included, because each week you're going to learn a little bit, and we learned some that we're not quite there yet. I can get in some specifics maybe later, but there were some things that Indiana presented that we didn't prepare well enough for, and obviously did not play well enough on Saturday against.
By the way, we have a young man joining us today. His last name is Marsh. He's pretty good. And we're going to talk with him and with Nick about how is such a young player so good so fast.
Yeah, so impressive for being that young and doing the things he's doing. He's having a great year. But I will tell you, just watching him on the field and off the field representing this place, he's a special talent.
And by the way, we do have this microphone here. You don't have to be shy about coming up if you want to ask Coach or Jay you a question. And if you're listening at home, the number to call in is 877-535-1678. 877-535-1678. We'll be back with more of the Auto Owners Insurance Jonathan Smith Show after this on the Spartan Media Network.
So, got one for you, boss.
Oh, yeah?
What's black, white, and dented all over?
I give up.
The company truck. I know, but thanks to our agent, we've already submitted an insurance claim and can track the status right from the app. Auto Owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Lucky for you, that's simple human sense.
Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
Hey, Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Shows and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
Skill is a game changer. And when the doctors you know and trust team up with one of the nation's top health systems, the possibilities are endless. Sparrow is now University of Michigan Health Sparrow. So together, we can bring more specialized expertise, more of the latest treatments, and more of the best possible care closer to you. Discover what's possible at uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Hey, got one more, Labatt?
Yeah, here you go.
Yo, got one more?
Sure, who are you?
Hey, have any more?
I'll take one.
Got another Labatt?
Got one more?
How did you all get in my house?
Dude, door was open. Heard you had some Labatt.
Yeah, in the fridge.
Crack some Labatt, make some friends, and see where it takes you. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. All rights reserved. Labatt registered U.S. trademark of Labatt Brewing Company Limited.
And welcome back. We're live in Lansing for the Jonathan Smith Show presented by Auto Owners Insurance. By the way, from hunting and fishing to trail riding, nothing tackles Michigan terrain like the Can-Am Defender. If Michigan is your turf, you need this ride on your roster. Visit canamoffroad.com/defender to learn more. Can-Am, proud sponsor of Michigan State University Athletics. Well, before we talk about our player of the week and some more football, what do you do on Saturdays on your off week? No game?
Yeah, no, I'll watch some for sure. Try to catch up with a little family. Shoot, hockey's at home. I'm planning on trying to get that out there Saturday night and see those guys. I think we're playing Ohio State. And so you do. It's hard for me to completely remove from football, but finding at least one day on a bye week to get away from it, I'll try to do that.
Any housework or anything?
Yeah, I'm sure my wife's got a few things on the list to do, and try to catch on some of that.
Well, it's now time for our Spartan Player of the Week, and here is Dalton Shetler.
Tonight's Michigan State Player of the Week is number 6, Nick Marsh. The freshman from Detroit, Michigan, dropped jaws and broke records in last week's effort at Spartan Stadium.
Shotgun snap to Childs. Childs thinking about running the ball. Now he'll throw it on the run.
Oh,
back line of the end zone.
He got that.
Is it caught?
Yes,
it is. Nick Marsh and he stayed in bounds. What a tightrope job by Nick Marsh. Touchdown, MSU.
Nick Marsh had 5 catches for 78 yards in last week's performance, which now gives Marsh the MSU true freshman record for most receiving yards in a single season with 558 yards. Folks, let's hear it for your Michigan State Player of the Week, Nick Marsh.
Well, he's something special, and he's about ready to break another record as well. That's number of receptions in a single season by a true freshman. And it was pretty interesting when you look at the list, you're expecting to see wide receivers, and it's a running back.
Yeah, we got hands too now.
I guess.
It's a more high percentage throws for running backs.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. So anyway, I remember, Jonathan, asking you this after the Maryland game. And the question I ask as Childs throws to Marsh for the big play that actually led to the win, I think. But at the end of the day, we had an 18-year-old quarterback throwing to a 17-year-old receiver at the time. And I asked you, I said, except when you were in high school, did you ever throw a touchdown or see a touchdown pass to a 17-year-old?
I know, it's totally different. He's gotten a few months older now, but at the time, that was a huge play of that game, and he continues to make plays. And again, it's no surprise in regards to his preparation, the maturity he has, and obviously the overall talent. So excited to kind of see him finish this season over the next 3 games and hopefully more than that.
Well, he's one of the best receivers in the Big Ten. He's right now 5th on the receiving list in the conference. And we have some awfully good receivers in this league. A couple times he's been the Big Ten freshman of the week. And there's no doubt in my mind, and Jay, I think you'll agree with this, there's no way he's not a freshman All-American. Just no way.
No, absolutely not. The kid, all around, you just see the maturation process of him since he's been on campus, from spring ball to, even last week. So a quick question for you, coaches. You've been around guys, big-time players that can make big plays in games. What do you see in him? Because I think he's definitely a next-level guy. But what's the little things that, from a fan watching that they can't see?
Yeah, I think it's actually instinctive for him to be able to separate, whether a guy's covering him at the line of scrimmage and his releases. It's just instinctive to him, creating separation at the top of his route, and that takes some detail and instinct, and he's got that. Some of it because he's so physical. He's not small, big kid, he can separate using his hands. And then you think about the contested catches. His catching radius, because of his size, his wingspan, he's got natural strong hands and can contest when guys are hanging on him. And I will say the stage has never been too big for him. Oftentimes you think about a young guy, first year, this kind of thing. The stage has not been big. He's been able to go out and operate and execute even the small things. It's called to be a 12-yard route. My man's at 12 yards. Right. And that's a huge difference. Sometimes, younger players will try to quick in or get out of their route sooner and all of that. Well, that messes up quarterback timing. Nick's been on it in regards to be playing and executing his exact responsibilities.
Well, Maryland is not the greatest place for a locker room, I'll tell you that. And in our little position where we do our post-game interviews is sort of outside. Yeah. And so the first interview we do was Nick Marsh. Great catch, great everything for us. We went on the road. And right as we get ready to talk, here comes the Maryland marching band right by us. And the first 3 questions I ask him, he goes, "What'd you say? What'd you say?" So it was not the most dramatic interview ever, but finally the band left and we got to talk a little bit. Yeah. And so one of the things, Jonathan, in doing the profiles we've been doing all year with your staff, I ask, for example, his position coach, Courtney Hawkins, what makes him special? And he said hard work, and he wants to learn, and he listens, and he just wants to get better. And that seems to be the MO with him, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I will say he's open to absorbing, especially the knowledge Courtney Hawkins has, the experience and what he, as a player and now as a coach, developing players. And so Nick is all ears when Courtney's talking to him, and Nick does ask a lot of questions. He's out at practice when he's not taking reps. He's observing, asking a question or two, making sure that he's, taking advantage of being on a mental rep, not just the physical rep when he's going. And that's a sign of maturity for a guy that's, like we said, 17 turned 18 in his first year, understands there's more to learn, and he's always looking to improve his game.
Well, we've already mentioned the fact that he set a record for the most receiving yards for a true freshman in a single season, and we got some games still to play. And so it's now time to for our trivia in-house. Win a couple tickets to a football game. We got 2 home games left. We got Purdue and Rutgers. So here is the question. We know he has the record. Who held the record before Nick Marsh passed it? Who was the true freshman who had this record until just the other day? So if you know the answer, it's for the audience. Come on up, and we'll take your attempts at getting this thing when we come back. And we'll have more conversation with Coach Smith and your trivia answers right after this as you're listening to the Auto Owners Insurance Jonathan Smith Show.
The U.S. is experiencing the worst blood shortage we've seen in 20 years. Give blood this season, and you can help save up to 3 lives each time. Join me and Abbott so we can save more lives together. Let's make Spartan Nation the #1 blood donor in the Big Ten.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
The U.S. is experiencing the worst blood shortage we've seen in 20 years. Give blood this season, and you can help save up to 3 lives each time. Join me and Abbott so we can save more lives together. Let's make Spartan Nation the #1 blood donor in the Big Ten.
Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Michigan, it's time to take them back. I'm Jerry Hodak, and I've lived here nearly all my life. For decades, we led the nation in bottle and can returns, cutting litter in half and preserving our natural resources. But some people have stopped returning their bottles and cans to the grocery stores, throwing away $105 million of their money. Keep Michigan green and put your money back in your pockets. Take them back, Michigan. The dime is worth your time.
When you're a foster parent, you play a lot of roles.
Provider, giving a foster child a safe home, healthy meals, and hope.
You're always there.
You're a cheerleader.
Your family. You would do anything for a child in your care.
Every day is different. Every need is different. But one of the most impactful roles you can play in life is being a foster parent. See why at michigan.gov/hope for a home. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
And we're back on the Jonathan Smith Show presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Well, our trivia question for the audience is, Nick Marsh became our new leader for true freshman most receiving yards in a single season. The question is, who did he pass? And I think somebody thinks they have the answer. Go ahead and identify yourself.
Alan from Lansing. Should be Cody White.
Cody White, 2017.
Alan was confident, too, with that. He came up before you even finished the question.
I believe he just had a blocked punt in the NFL for the Seahawks this past week. So
Okay. And he had a couple catches, too, in that game. So here's the deal. You have to go to the Alumni Hall to pick up your tickets. You pick up your tickets at the Alumni Hall retail location at Eastwood Town Center in Lansing. So there you go. That went pretty quick.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, JU?
Yeah, a couple things. One, just wanted to give a quick mention to one of our guys, our own Marion Smith. He had the opportunity this past week. He was on Good Morning America with Michael Strahan and all those guys. We all know the story about him and his family, the passing of his mother. But he was able to go, get a trip to New York. And they really took care of him there. He got a check for $40,000. He got, a family trip to Disney. That's really cool. I mean, the first time I went to Disney was my senior year in college when we played in a bowl game. So now him and his family get the opportunity to, and they even gave him a vehicle. So, and I think, all of that became really possible because of Spartan Nation. the support that they had out there for him and getting that word out there to help this kid, you know, because at the end of the day, when we were players, you know, you too, coach, you didn't have to worry about, you know, raising siblings.
No.
So he has a long ways to go, and let's continue to keep supporting him.
Wow.
Well, we have a question.
Thank you, Gary from East Lansing. Kind of an odd question, but I'm increasingly curious seeing so many helmets coming off when people get hit. Why would a helmet come off if it's properly buckled, or is it designed to do that to protect the head and neck in a certain kind of pressure?
I don't believe it's designed to do that. And so it goes back to properly put on. And so sometimes, you know, those chin straps can get kind of tight. And I think some of these guys want to loosen that. I also say hairstyles are different for each guy. And so how much hair you got on there it kind of matters. But it's something to actually look into and address, in my opinion, because there's some, whether that's penalty coming with that thing coming off, a hit looks harder than it really is. And actually there's a disadvantage. Your helmet comes off, you got to come out for a play, right? And so we'd love to see that happen less and less.
Yeah. That's a good point. You know, sometimes it is that stylish look there, but you have to, you know, buckle it up. Coach, I have a question for you, because I see a lot of parallels. You know, Otis can attest to this. Otis Wiley, he played safety here as well. When I was here my senior season with, Mark D'Antonio, we started the year, we started 4-0. We dropped a couple. And then right at this point in time in the season, we were I believe going into this week here, we were 5-4, you know, so just flip a little bit here, but we had that opportunity to win out and go to a bowl game, have the opportunity to go to Florida to a bowl game. And something Coach D always mentioned was, you seniors, you guys, this season is that, you know, if you build a house, the strongest part is that foundation.
Yeah. Building
that foundation for the rest of what's to come. How do you explain to these guys about that foundation piece?
Yeah, we've talked to a similar message. Actually, Coach D was out at practice today, talked to him for a while. And so we've talked a little bit, with our opportunities. We got 3 left to really establish a foundation moving forward. At the same time, we want to finish this thing for those guys that are in their senior year, that have been here for a long time, that have been through a lot. And so it is vitally important for us to be all in. It's a long season, right? These guys are putting a lot of work in. Few results have not gone our way. And so not, allowing that to dictate our energy, our focus, and our ability to finish. Because we want to finish this right for those guys, that the seniors playing in their last few games in the regular season, trying to springboard us, obviously moving forward, them being a part of a foundation laying in year 1 to propel us in year 2. We've had those conversations and really challenged them, right? We practiced today, but challenged them, that mindset coming when we're back on the field on Sunday. And it just worked out that Coach D was in town and he watched most of practice, and I was rapping, talking with him after, and he actually echoed some of the same thought on his previous experience.
Well, we have a question, I think. We do.
So this is Steve Cook from Grand Ledge, right out here.
Steve.
I am a former alumni of Michigan State back in 1983. Yeah, graduate there. So yeah. Go
nice.
So it's in my blood. So George, thanks for having me here. But Coach, Beaver fan. I love Corvallis. I've been there. So when you came here, I was like, yeah. And I saw you bring these guys, your center, your quarterback. I see all these great guys. We hear a lot about them, guys, right? We hear a lot about these great things they do for us, right? I'm looking forward to it over the years. I've seen some, up and downs with Michigan State football. I know we all have. But my question is, here's my question. We talk about all the great things that your quarterback's doing, your center's doing. I hear about all these folks that are doing so great, the receivers and anything. But here's my concern. What's the sustainability of the football program next year and the year after, with the distraction of the portal that I don't agree with, but it's killing D1 football, in my opinion. It's killing it, because what's happening is the top 10 teams are getting all the talent because of one thing, and we know what that one thing is.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, how do we keep Adrian? How do we keep Tanner? How do we keep these guys that are doing these great things? And I'm going to say this too. I think you're doing a great job in this first year as a coach. You are. This is so close. We are so close to being a team that's in the top 10 of the 25. And I know you're going to do it. The question is, you have to do it with sustainability. And how do you do that?
Yeah, we definitely want to be a place where we're, progressing and retaining talent, coaches included, but retaining, because I'm convinced with this coaching staff, the more time you give with us, the player, right, that player is going to continue to get better. And so how do you actively work to keep them here? And so there's a lot of facets to it. One thing that's completely in our control as coaches is the atmosphere that we're creating on their day-to-day. Are they feeling like they're getting better? They're getting opportunity? Are they treated well? Are they getting developed? They're improving. A lot of these guys have aspirations playing past Michigan State. Are we helping them with that aspiration? Right. And so we're focused on that. And then, continue so that we are on a great direction, and they want to be a part of something special. We've mentioned some of the wins and turning programs, laying foundation, and wanting to be a part of that and that conversation. I feel confident that we are in a very competitive place on the NIL space. As this thing transitions, it sounds like we're going to revenue share with these guys. And so we're going to be in a competitive place there. But that can't be the only factor in regards to revenue sharing. You've created an atmosphere that they want, an environment that they come develop. They feel like they're getting pushed in a respectful, positive way. They're developing and growing and doing it together. And that's what we're working to build. And I think we're off to a great start, to be honest with you. I'm not naive. This is the landscape. Guys can choose to leave when they want to. Every 6 months they can choose to, and that's across the country. I'm not naive to that fact, but I do feel like a majority of guys that are going to, experience this thing for the last, call it 10 months, are going to want to continue moving forward, the majority of the guys. And we got to actually, do everything we can to keep them. And then let's face it, because the landscape is what it is, we have some departure. Well, that's an opportunity to add. And the type of guys that want to be about Michigan State and do it that way, we got I think a great story to tell, awesome atmosphere to sell, home field, this place. And so I'm confident you give us a little bit more time, we'll get this thing rolling in a great direction.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I mean, imagine when you guys were playing, if we talked about, hey, you got some revenue share for you. What?
I know we were begging for actually getting a shake in the weight room or a protein bar, and now it's quite a bit different, but and I'm not saying it's all bad that it's different. These guys work really hard. They bring a lot to the university and all of that. It's a little bit different landscape, but I'm excited to be a part of it.
Oh yeah, you're laughing over there.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I would. You said those Gatorade shakes in that can there in the weight room. Coach Man won't let you get more, and you get you want. I don't know what I would have done with NIL back then. I would have spent it at Rick's, Poncheros, all those different places. But now these kids are a lot smarter with it. So more power to them. They earned it.
By the way, the Coach Jonathan Smith Show is hosted by One North Kitchen and Bar in Lansing. Join us for all the MSU coaches shows at our Lansing location and visit onenorthdining.com. We'll be back to talk more Spartan football on the Auto Owners Insurance Jonathan Smith Show after this break on the Spartan Media Network.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Dad. Did you get a new haircut or something? A new shirt? You're looking good.
What happened?
A little fender bender.
How little?
A few days in the shop little. But thanks to Mom and our agent, we've already submitted a claim and can track the status right from the app. Auto Owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense.
I'm fine, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask.
Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
I love getting out and trying new things. But my seizures have always kept me back. Thankfully, the providers and researchers at MSU Healthcare work together to get my epilepsy under control. So now I can try anything.
At MSU Healthcare, helping you do you is what matters most to us. In fact, it's our mission. Visit healthcare.msu.edu to find a provider.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or Choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party.
Nick,
And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
From our farm fields to the football field, Michigan soybeans touch every life, every day. From the food we eat to the products we use and the cars we drive, soybeans are making an impact. The Michigan Soybean Committee is dedicated to helping our farmers grow the soybeans needed for a more sustainable future while working at the forefront of innovation to develop new uses. To learn more about the Michigan Soybean Committee's initiatives, please visit us at michigansoybean.org.
And welcome back to the Auto Owners Insurance Coach, Jonathan Smith Show. Don't forget, Spartans Dream Big, and MSU Federal Credit Union is here to support you every step of the way. Whether your goal is to pay off your student loan, build your dream home, or save for retirement, MSU FCU has you covered. MSU Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of Spartan Athletics. Well, Nick, we've been talking about you even before you got here. And so, welcome, Nick Marsh. .6'3", 209 freshman, wide receiver, played high school football at River Rouge. And I don't know if you pay much attention to some of what you've done already, but he says, we talked, he set the true freshman record for reception yardage in a single season, and he's just a few catches away from having the most catches ever in MSU football history in a single season for a true freshman. Been the Big Ten Freshman of the Week a couple of times. We've talked about your 77-yard reception, and we go on and on and on. But I just, maybe we can start, and Coach will hop in, and JU will hop in as well. But as you look at what you've done this season, could you envision how well it would go?
I didn't know how it would look from now. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, with a season like that, you know, no freshman has come in and done what you've done. So, it is definitely a speechless, season that you've had so far. But you had the opportunity to come in early. There was a lot of talks about, where you were going to go, and you committed to Michigan State, and then, we switched coaches. You had the opportunity to reopen your commitment. Coach Smith came down, talked to you, his staff. What was it about him that encouraged you to come to Michigan State?
It was all about his approach. He came up to my high school one day, and he was like, we know that you're one of the priorities for Michigan State, and we want to keep it that way. And, I think it was all about his approach which made me stay on top of the official visit after that. Just the approach with the whole staff and the setup, I felt comfortable. I was already in love with the school, and, Coach just made me, feel reassured in that moment.
Awesome.
So how's it been? You're in high school one day. You came early so you could be in spring ball and get going in January. But what was it like the first time you played in front of these major stadiums, 70,000 people and all that?
It was pretty crazy. First game, I was a bit nervous. At some point during warm up, though, I was kind of able to block it all out, and it kind of felt like high school all over again. So I'm glad I was able to go into the season with the confidence of still playing at a high level, even though I'm in college now. So it's been great playing in front of a whole bunch of fans. People cheering my name, but at some point I'm able to block it out.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, Jonathan, when he caught that Maryland pass, what were you thinking? It's only 77 yards for a touchdown.
Well, I was thinking we should have been giving him the damn ball multiple times before that. But I guess, Nick, I'd love you to speak into a little bit. We talk about the recruiting process being on the big stage, and kind of what, how Coach Hawk has helped on and off the field as you've gone through being here since January, and now we're headed into November, 9-10 months later.
Coach Hawk, he's just been a phenomenal coach throughout the recruiting process. He just always came around. He was at a lot of my basketball games in high school, football games, and he showed me that I was a big priority to him. Just throughout the recruiting process, he was always there for me when I needed him. Just a late night phone call, or just something to talk about. Coach Hawk is more than just a coach; he's like an uncle to me. And throughout that recruiting process, it was just a blessing to have him right there.
Yeah, Coach Hawk, definitely one of the good ones. So Nick, it's important, and both of you, Coach Smith and Nick here, you both can relate to this. So I guess both of you can answer this. How important and how developing that relationship with your quarterback. So Aiden, he came in, similar to when you came in, bonding and meshing off the field. Does that translate to on the field? And how important is that relationship?
I think it's very important. It's a level of trust that comes with that. Once you build that relationship off the field, it just becomes everything. Like, we're like brothers now, and just going throughout the recruiting process a little bit. Aiden was right there as well. We chopped it up a few times before, I committed and I knew he was coming, and, we just built our relationship from there. And he's a pretty funny guy. And, I guess I'm a little bit funny. I'm not sure. But, that's how we bonded. And, after that, it was just, like brothers. Like, people think we're twins now.
It's interesting. You're running down the field on a long route, and you're just going as fast as you can straight down the field. And then you turn around and look for the ball. What's that like?
It's everything. Like, football is everything. And just looking up, catching that ball, and going to score for 77 yards it's everything. That's what we practice for. That's why I play this sport. I play this sport to catch balls like that.
So do you ever look up and the ball's not there?
Yeah, sometimes.
It should be here. Nick, you had an opportunity. So this past week, you were on SportsCenter Top 10 for the touchdown catch. But even more impressive than that, on Sunday, you were on You Got Mossed. Yeah. So that's an accomplishment itself. Randy Moss is giving you, kudos. So do you get the gloves and stuff? Do they still send the gloves out?
I have no idea. I haven't received any gloves.
Okay. I'm just talking something, but yeah, usually they send some gloves out there for you. But let's talk about that. You had a big catch, leading up to that touchdown. How did you catch that ball in the end zone and manage? You kept not 1 but 2 feet in.
It was all the quarterback. He put it where I can only get it, and like I was saying, the trust off the field, builds up to the trust in the game. And, he trusts me that enough to throw the ball where only I can get it. He trusts that I get my feet down and score a touchdown. So, that's all props to him.
Look at that, Coach Smith. Giving props to the QB.
I mean, it was a good throw. It was a great catch. The ability, and you all saw it, the athleticism, the talent to be able to, focus on and finish the catch with my feet being in bounds. That was a huge play at the time. I mean, we didn't have a great the design of the play wasn't there. Quarterback did extend, does a nice job with that, and gives you a chance with the ball, and had a huge momentum. That crowd went crazy. And it was the correct call. I actually give the officials some credit. Actually calling it correctly, it gets reviewed and confirmed, because it was a bang play that is a highlight that is well deserving to get the kind of attention you've gotten from it.
So what's it been like for you now? You're a freshman, you play a game, and it's just a freshman. All of a sudden you're making these great plays, and there's the other team looking at some video going, we should probably pay attention to this guy a little bit. So what has it been like now that you're getting a little more attention?
To be honest, it's been a little more frustrating,
Yeah.
You go into the game with the mindset to dominate your one-on-ones, and I get out on the field and I'm putting a big fat triangle, and I'm just like, guys, it's not that serious. Let's play football. But it takes. I could be a decoy at sometimes, to open up the run game of the pass game for my teammates. I have no problem with taking on that role if that gets us the win.
I do. It's a sign of respect, because as the season has gone on, that he has gotten more attention. So it's not just when you're one-on-one. Well, it's not one-on-one when the safety's over the top of you. That's 2-on-1. Mentioned the triangle piece of the outside backer or the nickel sitting in there, and they're aware of where he's at. And so we got to do a nice job of continuing to move him, make it difficult on the defense to create, double teams and things of that like.
Well, can you stay around for one more segment?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, there you go. Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for your entire community. to help support food rescue programs and the Simply Give program. Learn more at Meyer.com. We'll return for more of the Jonathan Smith Show presented by Auto Owners Insurance after this, as you're on the Spartan Media Network.
The U.S. is experiencing the worst blood shortage we've seen in 20 years. Give blood this season, and you can help save up to 3 lives each time. Join me and Abbott so we can save more lives together. Let's make Spartan Nation the #1 blood donor in the Big Ten.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
The U.S. is experiencing the worst blood shortage we've seen in 20 years. Give blood this season, and you can help save up to 3 lives each time. Join me and Abbott so we can save more lives together. Let's make Spartan Nation the #1 blood donor in the Big Ten.
Spartan fans, the 2024 basketball season is tipping off, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the courtside celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to MSU basketball games or to any other live event in the state, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Spartans. The most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
From the biggest of big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No. First base.
Go, go, go!
Whenever you shop Meyer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meyer.com/community.
And we're back live for the Jonathan Smith Show presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Don't forget global healthcare leader Abbott, MSU and the Big Ten need you to donate blood for the We Give Blood Drive competition. Let's make MSU the Big Ten champion of blood donation. To find more, visit big10.org/Abbott or contact a local blood donation center to sign up today. Like we said the other day when we were doing Tom's show, you don't need it till you need it, and it's a good thing. Well, you came in January. How was that? Was it good you came in early? Did you miss something by coming in early?
I think it was a great chance that I came in early because, it's a new offense, new playbook, and I think I got the advantage for a lot of other guys because they were just in a new a playbook before that, and we all learned something at the same time. So I thought it was a big advantage for me. And coming in at my size, just hitting the weight room and doing everything I'm supposed to do, I think it was a great advantage to come up here early.
What about the school part? This is a big adjustment.
Yeah, I was a bit of a knucklehead in high school. Schoolwork was always like. It wasn't hard, but I would wait too long to do it, and it would catch up to me. In college, I realized that's gonna be a bit of a setback for me. So just hopping on everything I got to do a bit early, and going to tutors, helping, using the resources that the school give me, and it's working out pretty good for me.
Surprise? Biggest surprise being a college student and the Big Ten football player?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's definitely crazy.
Nick,
go ahead.
How do you, we talk about balancing life and we talk about balancing football and being a student. How do you balance, being a student athlete, a freshman that come in and, you got Moss, you're on Sports Center Top 10, walking around campus. How was that?
Balancing it wasn't too bad. Just coming in and doing everything I was supposed to do. As far as like the school stuff. Once you did that, got that out the way, the football stuff came pretty easy because, you had time to, digest film, just to get the extra stuff, the extra work, So I just made sure I did all my schoolwork first and did everything I could in the school area to make sure it was easier in football.
Have you had a mentor, somebody you can lean on to talk to about the experience? A guy like JU, he's been through it. He helps people.
I would say Coach Hawk. That's one of the guys that I come to if I need advice or if I need any type of anything. He's just been a great guy to me, great coach, and like I said, he's like an uncle. So,
Nick, MSU, what's your favorite game day tradition? And a two-part question: pre-game, do you listen to music? If so, what do you listen to?
Yeah, you can say that's my pre-game tradition because I don't really do much, but listen to music. It's kind of crazy. I don't listen to a lot of rap.
Okay.
I listen to Chris Brown. So
okay,
it's a little bit of R&B before I go into the game.
Okay, big debate: Chris Brown or Usher?
Chris Brown all day. Chris Brown.
You're crazy.
Usher's pretty good, but Chris Brown all day.
You're crazy.
So what are you thinking about moving forward now? Got 3 games to go. What are you thinking?
Just to finish strong. Finish strong. That's like the best thing that we can do right now is finish strong. And I think that we got it in us.
I would agree. You got a good Coach Smith story?
Oh, let's be careful here now.
Yeah, Nick, remember you got practice still this week. I actually do though, but it's nothing crazy. It's just the team meetings. He always come in here like, what's up, my homies? What's up, my homies? It's silly.
Oh. Well, we have fired a bunch of stuff at you. Is there anything you want to talk about that we haven't kind of led you down the road with?
No, I think that was pretty much it for me.
Very much it. Let's hear it for Nick Marsh. Thank you so much, Nick. By the way, Duckett Brothers Distributing is proud to support this year's green team at Spartan Stadium. They'll be there helping clean Spartan Stadium, concluding every home game, which we have 2 left. So let's lend them a hand by keeping Spartan Stadium green and clean and disposing of trash in the concourse receptacles. And by the way, we do still have this mic if you want to ask Coach Smith a question. And we will take a break as you're listening to the Auto Owners Insurance Coach Jonathan Smith Show.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, Ann, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path, because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Hey, got one more, Labatt?
Yeah, here you go.
Yo, got one more?
Sure. Who are you?
Have any more?
I'll take one.
Got another Labatt?
Got one more? How did you all get in my house?
Dude, door was open. Heard you had some Labatt.
Yeah, in the fridge.
Crack some Labatt, make some friends, and see where it takes you.
Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. All rights reserved. Labatt registered U.S. trademark of Labatt Brewing Company Limited.
Rocket met with first-time home buyers to get real about buying a home.
When you don't understand the process, you don't know what steps to take.
Money is just scary to begin with.
There's so many question marks. I wish there was like a home ownership coach out there.
My name's Austin. I'm an executive at Rocket. We're doing a lot, but we can do more just listening to you today.
Get real solutions to real concerns. Call 800-4ROCKET.
Rocket Mortgage LLC, LMLS number 33, LMLSconsumeraccess.org, equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states.
Hey Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Shows and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
We're live from Lansing for the Jonathan Smith Show presented by Auto Owners Insurance. And frankly, you want to join us for the Michigan Sports Brief program every weekday on Spartan Media Network stations across our great state, presented by Frank & Muth Insurance. Start a frank conversation about your insurance with one of our local independent agents by visiting fmins.com. Well, there's a kind of a cool thing you do that we don't talk a lot about, and maybe you can talk about what you do with the scout team.
Well, those guys, they're a huge part of the team. You don't see a ton of them on Saturdays, right? Because you only can play 11 guys on the field at a time. But a scout team recreates the opponent that you're about to prepare for. And so they've got to put together looks from offense, defense, and special teams that you're anticipating seeing. It's not a role that everyone came to Michigan State to do. And so it's kind of their gift back to the program. At the same time, we try to use it in a developmental side. Oftentimes, scout team player a little bit younger, right? Not quite ready to play or has earned, the playing time. He's got people in front of him on the depth chart. And so those pictures during the week preparing the team are critically important. They don't get recognized a lot. We try to recognize those guys toward the end of the week of scout team player of the week on offense, defense, special teams, the line of scrimmage, offense and defensive line. And so that's something we started a while back. And I think it's important. It's been great. Our team celebrating it too, because when we finish practice on Thursday, we kind of recognize them as a team. And then we take a picture with them and it's turned into something that I think guys take pride in and feel good when they're recognized that way.
Well, we have a question.
Dominic from Lansing, Coach, with the bye week, do you script that before the season, or do you wait and see what the team might need?
Yeah, we put some thought into the entire season, and so knowing these couple of buys are going, and so initial thoughts of like, well, you played 9 games, kind of where that's at, where the bodies are at, and so we've got a little bit of a plan, and then we definitely put it kind of definitively as we get closer, like I'm getting at, of kind of where the season's gone, what your injury count's been, what do we need to work on, how much work do we need, and so we definitely need some, and we got a lot done today, and so we try to take that kind of holistic approach to the entire season, kind of planning that out week 1 to week, I think it's 14, and then as you go weekly in and out of it, you make some slight tweaks to your initial plan you made really in June and July.
And by the way, thanks, Dominic. Our show today comes to you live from One North Kitchen and Bar in Lansing. One North Kitchen and Bar offers curbside pickups, and don't forget all the MSU coaches shows. Make your reservations by emailing Caleb at onenorthdining.com. We'll be back with more of the Auto Owners Insurance Jonathan Smith Show after this on the Spartan Media Network.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Dad. Did you get a new haircut or something? A new shirt? You're looking good.
What happened?
A little fender bender?
How little?
A few days in the shop little, but thanks to Mom and our agent, we've already submitted a claim and contract
So this
status
is our last break,
Mia.
right?
Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense.
I'm fine, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask.
Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
Is this to the heart out?
When you're a foster parent, you play a lot of roles.
Provider, giving a foster child a safe home, healthy meals, and hope.
You're always there.
You're a cheerleader. Your family. You would do anything for a child in your care.
Every day is different. Every need is different. But one of the most impactful roles you can play in life is being a foster parent. See why at michigan.gov/hope for a home. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Skill is a game changer. And when the doctors you know and trust team up with one of the nation's top health systems, the possibilities are endless. Sparrow is now University of Michigan Health Sparrow. So together, we can bring more specialized expertise, more of the latest treatments, and more of the best possible care closer to you. Discover what's possible at uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Calling all Spartans. Global healthcare leader Abbott, MSU, and the Big Ten need you to donate blood for the We Give Blood Drive competition. Your donation can save up to 3 lives, as well as make MSU the Big Ten champion of blood donation. For more information and to find out how you can make your donation count for MSU, please visit big10.org/Abbott or contact Versity or your local blood donation center to sign up for a local upcoming blood drive.
Welcome back to the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you. And by the way, if you missed any MSU coaches shows or want to go back and hear or watch one more time, look up Spartan Media Network anywhere that you get your podcast. I do want to touch real quick. I know we're running out of time here, but Coach mentioned the value of the scout team. Well, this guy over here, J.U. Callcrick, redshirted his freshman year. He was a scout team member, and when he left here, he had a record for the most touchdowns in a single season at 21. So there's some good stuff that comes off that scout team.
No question. No question. Those guys continue to work. This is a great example of it.
Just look at him now.
Well, it's funny. I came in as a running back, and I redshirted because I got moved to linebacker. So my first year, I played all scout team linebacker, and I actually think that helped me learn the game from the other side better as an offensive player.
I can see that linebacker position correlates with the running back position and run fits and where those guys are going. I can see it.
By the way, raise hope and foster dreams by starting your journey to becoming a foster parent today. Visit michigan.gov/hope for a home to learn more on how you can support children of all ages in your community. Well, we just have a few seconds left here, so what are you thinking between now and a trip to Champaign?
Well, yeah, we got some work to do, and excited about diving into this opportunity we've talked about as a team. This opportunity in last 3 games really can define some things of this season, some ups and downs, and all that. We want to be about finishing, still enjoying kind of this group, the work, and yeah, the season. We're 3/4 of the way done. We want to finish really well and start with a tough challenge on the road, but I know our guys will be ready to go and excited to play.
Well, Jay, it was good seeing you again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to be here, and I'm excited for these next 3 games. I love where we are as a team. The wins and loss won't show it, but as a team, as a staff, we have the right people, we have the right guys, this coaching staff, and let's get that bowl game, because there's a lot riding on it, Coach. Not for you, but for me. All right, I've been here 3 years as a broadcaster, and we haven't made a bowl game. I might get fired if we do. I might be the bad luck.
There you go. By the way, our next Jonathan Smith Show is Wednesday, November 13th. Hope you can join us for that. So, thanks, as always, to our show coordinator, Owen Cronin. On-site producer today, we have Chris Ordaway, and our studio producer is Scott Moore. Always thanks to Ben Flieger from the communication department. Engage Dansby takes care of our live stream on social media. So hope everybody has a good weekend. See you next week. That's good.
The preceding program was
the Auto Owners Insurance presentation of the Jonathan Smith Show has been brought to you by Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartan Athletics. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. Coors Light, Mountain Cold Refreshment. Choose chill. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Raise hope and foster dreams. Start your journey to becoming a foster parent today at michigan.gov/hope for a home. Meijer, the official grocer of Michigan State Athletics. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. The MSU Federal Credit Union. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. McLaren, official orthopedics and sports medicine partner of Michigan State Athletics. And by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense. The Jonathan Smith Show is a presentation of Playfly Sports in partnership with Michigan State Athletics. All rights reserved, and is produced by the Spartan Media Network.